Chris Ward and Paul Mellor are in charge of the video refereeing today, and so Matai it is that starts this game between Manly and Parramatta. Haven't there been some great clashes between these two clubs since they joined jointly in 1947? Moi it is then, shoveling the ball away rather anxiously onto Hayne, and Hayne will play the ball in the middle of the ground, back 30 metres off his own line, as Tim Manor takes the second forward play out towards the 40-metre line. Manly, of course, won 4 comps in the 70s. Parramatta did the same in the 80s. But Manly has gone on since their victories to put another 4 on the board, most recently in 2011. That's Edwards, who locks the scrum. And Peets is the 9. The 6 is Corey Norman, the former Bronco. The ball is high. David Williams knocks it backwards. And Hiku is on the ball for Manly. Good indication from Jared Maxwell. He didn't have any doubts that it was a knock backwards. That is Satini now. And playing it on his 10-metre line. From Ballon to Williams, one of many Parramatta players, you might say. He's a junior, a Parramatta junior. 5 of them in all have a Parramatta background in the Manly team today. This is Cherry Evans.
Yeah, good idea from David Williams there after an early loss of the football to get in and get another carry almost immediately. Last tackle now against Manly. They'll kick from just inside their own half. Poor pass finds Lyon, who gets it away straight to Hayne. And Lyon stays down.
Nathan Peets, he basically... And here's a break being made by Parramatta's fullback, Jared Hayne. He's in clear space, but the fullback to beat. Hiku stops him long enough for reinforcements to arrive. So it's gone now to Will Hopewate. Just having a look to see if Jamie Lyon is back in the line. I think he is. Totai getting it on to Manor. And to the middle of the ground, Lawrence is there with Watmo. And they do the heavy work on Tim Manor. So this is Edwards again, and to the line, and then Norman likewise. Hayne gets it away to Radradra, and he's taken down a couple of metres out from the line. 9 tries in his last 7 games, Semi Radradra. Now with Edwards, getting through plenty of work, got rid of Watmo, fends a couple away. He goes back towards that corner post, which is about 5 metres away. So the winger through to Norman, and now to Kelly. And he puts a kick out, looking for Totai. They fly high, and Manly come down with the ball, and it's a line dropout. The mark taken by Chase Blair, one of the 5 I was referring to in the Manly lineup that have had associations with Parramatta. That's the way that Nathan Peets delivered the tackle, if you can call it a tackle, on Jamie Lyon, and then of course this big break made by Jared Hayne down to the 20-metre line. So they'll get the ball back, Parramatta, from the southern end in front of the Fulton Menzies stand down on the Pittwater Road end of the ground. And it's a drop kick out from Jamie Lyon that almost looks like it hit the breeze, but I don't know if the breeze is that strong. Moi takes it inside 30.
Okay, got to go now, Josh.
Norman a dummy half, and Manor is the runner. Down to the 20-metre line. Ballon playing his 161st consecutive today. Kelly away. The 11 is Ben Smith. Smith will play the ball inside the 10. And here is Edwards again behind one to Norman, who gets away from Glenn Stewart. Back to Ben Smith, nowhere to go. Finds the grass and tackled by Horro. And here it is from Norman, across it comes to Hopewate. And he'll play the ball on 5. Close to the line. And Norman with a kick that has got Manly again under pressure. Marked on the full right. Satini. And it comes back for the 20-metre optional restart.
Well, encouraging enough start from Parramatta, but still looked a little bit pedestrian and ponderous in attack there. A couple of passes going behind the intended receiver, and that always puts a punctuation in the attack. Well, he didn't have too many problems in defence. They'll work it out now with the ball through Lawrence.
Moy and Manor doing the defence, and then Cherry Evans, whose right knee is heavily strapped. He took a knock on that knee last Friday. The penalty goes to Manly. It's against Edwards. I was watching Cherry Evans in the warm-up. I just fancied he wasn't totally happy with it. But as he warmed up even further, what was a bit of a grimace on his face disappeared.
Just jump behind him, Dave.
So the free kick to be taken over there by Satini. And now from Watmo to Cherry Evans. Lyon, who is playing 5/8 today. And that is Horro, picked up by Manor and put down with the aid of Mao. And this is Watmo. Peter did the season launch for Parramatta, and he tells me that it is pronounced Mao, not May-U or whatever others may have been calling him. Apparently he wants it known as Mao. And Randra wanted the ends taken out, which we're trying to do. Here is Jamie Lyon trying to poke his nose through. And a quick play the ball. Ballon goes away to the middle to Watmo. And he's cut down by Pete. And it's a penalty again to Manly. They came up, Parramatta, with a hand on the ball. So, do you keep on going and go for the 6, or do you take a shot from right in front?
No, go for more. This is the 3rd set in a row. They'd fancy their chances here again. Lawrence, the carry inside the team, striving to the line.
Brenton Lawrence then. They got a very thin depth as far as front rows are concerned. Cherry Evans, and that's Starling with the ball. Again, they're close to the line. Parramatta, the acid test. Kelly and Hayne, the tacklers. And now for Jamie Lyon, sweeps it back. Hiku, Matai scores. So they opted to go for the 6. They've now got 4 in the bag and possibly 2 more to come.
And honestly, they always looked short on that side for that play, the Parramatta defence. Really simple little second man play. Look at that, 4 up against 5. Winger and centre jamming right up. A cutout pass would have served the purpose early on, but Steve Matai eventually gets the football. They just really didn't number up against what is always a well-drilled Manly side. And on the Isuzu D-Max replay, 3 sets just too hard to handle for Parramatta defensively. Manly always looked like scoring.
70th try in the top grade, Steve Matai.
I think they set that up nicely on the play before. They were ready to go, play the ball earlier, and you saw Cherry Evans dump that ball off to Josh Starling. He sort of looked up and said, no, we haven't quite got them. Gave a ball to Starling. He played the ball, and by that time, Jamie Lyon had organised the backup raid. And again, and I've said this a few times already this season, the defence probably made an error there, more than anything really brilliant by the attacking side. They just went through their drill, and the defence got themselves in all sorts of a mess. And as it was, Matai had an easy run to the line. Very simple try.
So the captain, who laid the try on, kicking into that crowd down on the northern hill and on the eastern side of the ground. And Jamie Lyon, he's missed it. He's pushed it away awkwardly to the left of the uprights. Sunday football coming to you from Brookvale. So 4-0 the score as we welcome those of you that have been to a break. He's got his foot on the dead ball line. It's out on the full. It's a penalty back at the middle. Corey Norman was the man that kicked at the 6.
Well, how often do we see it? The team concedes points, and on the very next kick-off, kick it out on the full or kick it dead on the full. It's ridiculous.
Smart piece of work by the catcher. He knows the rules. It's Cherry Evans. He's got that left foot planted beyond it, the dead ball line. So it's out on the full. Glenn Stewart joins in. Cherry Evans goes on. Satini got rid of Radradra. And He'll play the ball on the 20-metre line. Glenn Stewart then at first receiver. Away to Ballon. Ballon on to Starling.
Get off, get square back.
Right side now for Lawrence. And Lawrence trundles the ball up. 5 metres out and 5 gone. To Parramatta back where they were a couple of minutes ago. Cherry Evans' kick. It's a try. It's a try for David Williams. He has bagged an absolute monster of tries against Parramatta.
A try. Just a quick look at the dead ball, mate.
12 months or so. And he has scored off a delicate but precise kick from Daly Cherry Evans.
And he showed more urgency than anybody else, and that's why he scored. Last year he had 4 before half-time at this ground against this opposition. And I think Parramatta have got players back there. But they're more hoping the ball is going to go dead. Obviously, the chaser has the momentum. But he's definitely got more urgency than anybody else, and he slips around the back of Radradra. And it's not the best put down you've ever seen.
Well, it squirts out very quickly to the side, doesn't it? He's touched it up in the air. I can't give that.
No try.
I cannot give that. See the way the ball squirts away? That's not a sign, what I believe, of downward pressure. That's too blurry. You can't take that one. Remember, he has awarded a try, but I think they should overrule this. See, touches it way up in the air. It leaves that hand and goes down. That's the end of it. No try. And Mr. Radradra will feel very relieved.
4 or 5 years ago, it would have been a try, Ray.
Oh, absolutely. We'd be talking about separation, wouldn't we? In fact, I was going to ask the question, was there separation between the left hand and the ball? What did they say, the men in the box? Well, obviously, they're not talking to us. That's fine. If that's the way they want it. I thought they might like to...
Well, it just spoke for itself, right?
Oh, go.
Sorry.
The incident, it just spoke for itself.
I think you're right, Pete. We were talking about a year ago, 2 years ago, we were talking about was there any separation, all of the rest of the bull dust in the world. But he had no control over the football. There was no downward pressure. And it was rightly overruled by Chris Ward and Paul Mello, whose microphone isn't quite working properly yet. Here's Jared Hayne coming in, getting it to Moy to Kelly. A beautiful piece of play by Hayne. Oh, they've passed to Chase Blair. He's got the other jumper on today, though. He was playing with them last year. Now his tackle loses the ball. Went backwards off a Parramatta hand, and it's with Matai. Then Hayne floated in and Moy supported. Great work by Moy to get involved in the silk department.
Well, they bonded. Simple as that. And they've been into open spaces on 2 occasions. Jared Hayne heavily involved on that right edge, but Luke Kelly had plenty of support out wide. He just didn't find it.
His man with quick hands, and here's Chase Blair again. And Kelly shows him the sideline, herds him back in. And he's taken by Hopewati. It's gone on to Matai. Now to Cherry Evans. Inside ball for Starling. And I saw a head go back there, Nathan Peets. When the contact occurred with the front rower for Man. Cherry Evans kicks high. Haynes under it, takes it, and they take him back towards the in goal. Hayne is in the field of play. Groggily plays the ball. Radradra. And they're trying to take him back into the in goal. And it's played back then for Totai to come away. 10 out from his line. Kelly a dummy half. Corey Norman. Now the second rower, Manu. Tim Manor. Inside the 30-metre line. Peets brings it onto the boot of Corey Norman, who drives it and hooks it, and Chase Blair has got hold of it again. Played a prominent role in the last couple of minutes, Chase Blair. And his tackle on the 40-metre line by Edwards in those orange boots. And Nathan Peets. Here's Peta Hiku. on the halfway line. Phil Gould.
Yeah, I really expected Parramatta to put up a great going here today, and I've seen enough in their attack to suggest they can trouble Manly. Manly down on troops, and they've already been breached a couple of times, but it's their defence that's got to aim up for Parramatta. They're showing some signs on the outside. Here they go again.
That ball went forward, I think, from him to Williams. But nobody called it that way. Williams allowed to play the ball. Manly with Cherry Evans just laying it back there for Glenn Stewart. They're inside the 30-metre line. Now they're on the 20, and here he is again. Cherry Evans dictating the tempo. Hayne has made a botch of it. It went backwards, He got it back into the field of play, though. Not a bad effort when you make a couple of mistakes, a couple of grabs at it, and still get back into the field of play. Toe tie put down by Brenton Lawrence. Now Tonga. Tonga. Played 8 State of Origins. And was with Parramatta before that time he spent with Canterbury. Queensland never had a problem. They would go back to Willie Tonga in the past. Now Moi picking up a loose ball, taking it out up the middle of the ground. Kelly kicking deep, and it'll go dead. So that'll give Manly use of 7 tackles. Brad Fittler on the sideline.
Thanks, Ray. You can see Luke Kelly was assisted by a 20-kilometre nor'easter there. That is gusting up the backsides of the Parramatta Eels. And I have to say, this field is as long as I've ever seen grass on any field. So there's going to be some itchy boys tonight.
Thank you for that, Brad. And that wind report confirms that line dropout we saw from Jamie Lyon was into quite a breeze, actually. The Holden Cup and VB New South Wales Cup scores coming through for you. The Holden Cup 48-20 went to the Eels, and the New South Wales VB Cup went to Wentworthville by 2 over Manly. Wentworthville, of course, the Parramatta feeder club. And reminding that there are 3 grades that play now for patrons, not just the Holden Cup and the Telstra Premiership, the New South Wales Cup played as well. So 3 games played this year at the matches on offer. Watmo to Jamie Lyon, who just pokes one in, and it's going over the dead ball line. So we'll take a break. It's 4-0 in favour of Manly.
You got it? You got the message? Okay, mate. Thank you.
Okay, here's your mark. Gathering.
One left, mate.
Okay, let's move up. Who's our lock?
All right, here, boys.
Let's go, boys. Come on. Need a lock.
Sunday football
Need a lock.
down at Brookvale Oval here on the peninsula, the northern beaches of Sydney. It's attracted quite a good crowd. Mind you, these 2 clubs, simply through tradition, it wouldn't matter where they're coming in the competition. You expect them to draw healthy crowd. Louis has gone on for Lawrence in the front row. This is Mao out to the 20-metre line, his own end. Now for Tonga, playing left centre. Papawate playing on the right side. This is Paulo who's on. Then Norman. Lyon makes the tackle on Corey Norman with the help of Watmo. Pete's out from dummy half. Gains about 7 metres. Lyon making the tackle. Now it's with Norman. He rakes it again off that left foot. It's going to find the line. He has an enormous amount of power in that left foot kick, and he rakes it hard, or hooks it hard.
Have a look at the crowd, Rabbits. They love their Sunday footy here at Brookvale Oval. Warm conditions, but the locals have turned up to support their team. Grand finalists last year, big win last weekend. And they love their Sunday footy.
Tonight on the block, the entire upstairs is revealed, including the controversial bath in the bedroom. That is finally revealed. The block followed by 60 minutes at 6:30 tonight. Yes.
They tell me you've got a bed in the bathroom. The other way around.
Okay, you got to let go now. Let go.
Back it up.
I don't quite know what to say to that, but here's Glenn Stewart. By the way, Mockbell, alias Fat Tony, he will follow all of that. Last I know, he was, I think, he was in Greece or somewhere. Mockbell, Fat Tony. Horrow's got one under the chin. You get a penalty.
Okay, blind.
Who got him? Paulo and Edwards.
Well, this is a test here for Parramatta because Manly have shown signs of cracking them down the edges of the field. Jamie Lyon is just lining them up again, I think. He put a little kick in early in the tackle count last time just to stop or to keep that right-hand defence in two minds. I wouldn't mind betting he comes back with something different on this occasion.
This is Starling. Second ball is on the ground.
Go.
And the trainers will recover that, as you can see at the back. And Jamie Lyon then probing, asking, and it's gone over to Williams. And it's gone forward. So they saw that one.
Oh, mate, I call it.
Jamie Lyon is saying he threw it back.
Not going to change it, Jamie. Not going to change it.
Yeah, things even out.
Well, then, mate, well, I've called it. Not going to
Been a
change it
couple
now.
of suspect ones that gone through to the keeper, but despite Jamie's protestations, no joy there. As we go sideline with Brad Fittler.
Yeah, just looking at Jared Hayne in that last set. He was up in the corner fixing his boot. He's got strapping around his right boot. And he was just talking to a trainer, then touching the outside of his ankle. So we'll just monitor him closely. As we've got Jason King and Penny Terapo warming up on the sideline, ready to get into the action.
Facts from Fittler. Himself on crutches at the moment. And this is Popawara. Over on the left of the ground, away from the ruck. Now Mao.
I have a question mark on the ankle, mate. We've got him a very good car park here this afternoon. I think he just gets the clutches out when there might be a problem parking as Parramatta go wide. Second man to Hayne, got space out wide for Hopewata.
And Will Hopewata down to the 20-metre line, and Jamie Lyon just grabs him and bear hugs him and get this into you. And now it's gone away from Norman to the middle of the ground to Paulo and then to Kelly. He outsteps Watmo, but they come in over the top with Louis making the tackle. 15 metres out from the Manly line. Here's Norman, and they get the ball away. That's Tonga. Good work, him. A long ball away from Norman. It's finished up with the 16, Terapo. And the referee is ordering a turnover. Is he what's he know? Yes, it's a turnover.
Yeah, Jared Hayne, when he made that little run there and passed the ball to his winger to put him away, pulled up very short in his action after he did it. You watch him go, he does it. Now watch him there limping. Limps really noticeably after he pulled up quickly on that ankle. He seems okay when he's running. It's stopping and changing direction that's causing him problems.
Jason King is on in the 17. That personal thing with Sam Burgess last Friday week. And I think West Tigers learnt from the retaliation of Jason King and the niggle and the sledge. But that's the way to go against the Rabbits. And here's Jamie getting it to go end on end, but he didn't quite get it to go to the right direction, and they come away with it through toe tie. He'll play the ball on his own 30-metre line. 4-0 in favour of the Eagles. A quarter of the game gone approximately. No Kieran Foran today, and it's a penalty.
I got your mark, Will.
Well, here's a nice chance for Parramatta because they've actually looked pretty likely with the ball in attacking zones. Manly have had to scramble on a couple of occasions, and one more pass, if Parramatta could have affected it, might have produced points. So it's only Manly's experience at the moment. Their experienced players are holding them together. But there are some chinks in this Manly defensive line today.
Thank you, mate. Thank you,
some new faces, some new positions.
Just behind him for me, Vi.
Parramatta just might be ready to strike.
That's a run from Terapo.
Okay, Jason, away.
Hemi Terapo in 16. Kelly turning it in. Paulo. He's a good player, this fellow. Joseph Paulo. He's got lots of skills. Play back to Peets, and away it goes to Terapo again. Somebody barreled him there, but I'll tell you what, he's industrious, isn't he? Here's Smith. Big Ben. A couple of metres off the line. So now they come away. For Norman to flow the ball away. Oh, it's bounced and gone over the sideline off the feet of Toto.
It's just the cutting edge that they lack, Parramatta. They are getting into good positions. This is Terapo and Louis coming together. Dynamis, formerly with Brisbane. And the last play here, Corey Norman knows that it's on out wide, but just couldn't get it to Totai on the full, who would have raced Matai into the corner.
Okay, we go, Jared.
They're close, aren't they? They're not quite there, but they're close, Parramatta. It's only 4-0.
Quick hand by Manly. They go away to Satini.
Joseph.
The centres on debut today. If you've just joined our telecast, 4 and out. Jamie Lyon went to 5'8", and that allowed Tony Satini, the former Penrith junior, to make his first grade debut. Played with Windsor in the New South Wales Cup last year. Prior to that, Toyota Cup with Penrith. And here is Jason King up towards halfway. Go to a stat blindside now, and Ballon beat Ben Smith, but he doesn't beat Paulo. And Glenn Stewart's a dummy half, and Cherry Evans kicks, and it's bounced down into the end goal. Oh! Payne grabbed at it, came up empty, grabbed at it, fell on it.
Well, he was looking for one friendly bounce. He was sort of hoping this took a turn towards the sideline or just kicked into the in goal. And I do think that ankle, he was worried about how quickly he could turn and go if he had to pick this ball up. He's very tentative, isn't he? He doesn't really want to get down to it. He had a lot of things on his mind there, Jared Hayne, and in the end, he just had to slam his hands on it and say, oh, well, there he is now getting some attention back behind play.
He's on one leg at the moment, no doubt. And Brad Fittler mentioned the length of the grass here. The ball won't run as readily as far. So no surprise here that Cherry Evans got it right as Watmo juggles the football, brings it back from halfway, picks up 15 before taken by Terapo.
And Gower is out there now. Played for Manly last year, was in the grand final squad, David Gower. Horro sweeping, Jamie Lyon likewise that has gone forward.
They had no fullback here, Parramatta. I mean, just a little kick in behind would have found fresh air. Jared Hayne is down getting his ankle strapped in the in goal. They've got his boot off. The trainer's trying to reinforce those ligaments on the outside of his ankle. I think he's just got some strain there, and he's looking for some support.
Why back here, boys? Back here.
Anthony, let's gather up, boys.
Get your hands out of there, Jared. Let the man do his job.
Kenny, get your right leg forward.
So this forward pass by Manly is aiding
There we go. Will, in we get.
the time that Hayne is basically out of the game. Parramatta with 12 men. But at least they've got the football now. And this is Willie Tonga. Gower taken hard by Watmo. A really heavy contact there. Now it's a penalty going to Manly. It's against Gower for not playing the ball correctly, I take it.
It's one of these pin the tail on the donkey. You spin him around. He didn't know where he was. And look at that. He gets up. He's facing Manly beats there. He got no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, he was facing sideline. Evans reaping it out into the crowd. Makes a good backdrop, doesn't it? That crowd over there, a sea of particularly maroon and white. 20 metres from the line. Anthony Watmo. No Brett Stewart today. George Tafua, Tom Simons. Horro in for Hiku. And Hiku playing it to Ballon. Now to Cherry Evans. Glenn Stewart. And a little juggle from him before going to Horro again. Well, here comes Manly with depth to Lyon. And Matai puts it down. Just when they looked like they were going to almost reenact their earlier try. We will take a break. It's Manly 4, Parramatta yet to score.
You just face the hill. Face the hill.
Yeah, mate. Yep.
Come on. We're done now. Scrum down.
Try for Manly at the 8th minute for Matai.
Just stay there, Jamie, for me. Down we go, Nathan.
Back at Brookvale. On the exclusive coverage of this match between Manly and Parramatta on the 9 network from the Northern Beaches here in Sydney. The cloud is high, and here's a mistake. And Manly high-fiving Mao it is that's made the mistake and invited Manly to visit the in-goal again. Cloud is high. There are forecasts of some electrical storms later in the day.
Nathan, got to come up on the clock.
But Brad Fittler, who's our weatherman, said that the wind is coming out of the northeast strongly at 20. But I was thinking the change was coming from the south. So I might just get Fred. Well, there's a shot of a fairly angry-looking Cloud. So Manly win the scrum. Jamie Lyon, Steve Matai. Hiku's wanting the ball, but Matai succumbs to the tackle of Edwards in 13. Plays it to Hiku. It's gone down to Louis. Legs on him like tree stumps. He plays it back to Ballin. It's gone to ground. It's a penalty, though.
Come out here.
It's a penalty to Manly.
Come out here.
It's Watmo that's been called over by Jared Backs. We'll tune into this. No, it's Jared Hayne, I'm sorry.
Mate, you're not going to vent to me like that in the position you hold. Yeah. Cop the tip.
Hang on a minute.
No, you've had your chance. You cop your tip. Not when you're asking me like that, mate. No way in the world.
Well, Jared Maxwell is basically pointing out to Jared Hayne that you can talk to me, but you must do it with some form of respect. And that's what he's taken exception to, the referee. Jared hasn't given any chance to voice an opinion, but captains aren't allowed to speak to referees at that time anyway. Here is Jamie Lyon. And Hiku, a quick play of the ball. Hiku, light on the feet over the line. Peter Hiku, he scores. The Brett Stewart deputy is in to score. What a wonderful player he is.
Well, he was close to their best last Friday night up on the Central Coast. And a good decision made here by Will Hopewade to come in. But tackling low these days means that your opponent gets a good chance of getting up and playing the football quickly, which is what happened. That was Parramatta losing possession from the scrum win. A couple of penalties in rapid succession. The quick play of the ball catches the marches out, and Peter Hiku goes through Jared Hayne to score their second. Ray, the crowd not so angry now.
Yeah, that's an example here we can see on the D-Max replay of good defence followed up by poor defence. It was really good of them to get up quickly and close down the previous play, but then they didn't back it up with good defence on the next play. They allowed a quick play of the ball. They allowed a dummy half plenty of scope, and this fella's got good footwork and strength, and he was just able to muscle his way into the in goal. Jared Hayne again looked inconvenienced by that ankle in trying to effect a tackle, but you know, it's one of them things, you know, you can't stand back and pat yourself on the back because you've made a good tackle, because in this game the play goes on. You've got to get up and go again. And Parramatta guilty there of doing something good and then not backing it up on the next play.
Well, Jamie Lyon converts this one. He failed with the first. 10-0 to score in favour of Manly. That's the try scorer, Peter Hiku. Friday night football, Roosters versus the Eagles at Allianz here in Sydney at 7:30 on television. And then Broncos Dragons from Wynn Stadium, Wollongong, in Queensland at a special time of 7. You people north of the border, 7 o'clock is the special time for your telecast of Dragons Broncos next Friday.
That's just a great Friday night, isn't it? Last year's grand final combatants. In the other game, Dragons unbeaten after 3. The Broncos, I thought they had the Roosters the other night.
What a crazy finish it was to that game. Just unbelievable. This is Satini. So we had 2 brilliant games on Friday night. Most entertaining is probably a better way to describe it. South played horribly, I guess, so you couldn't say it was a brilliant night of football, but it was wonderful entertainment, both in the Sydney game and the Brisbane game. Now this is Louis. Gower getting entangled with him, and Cherry Evans, he's found that, no, it's gone out on the full, so that is a play the ball back where it was kicked, rather than a scrum on any tackle.
The crowd aren't happy, but the touch judge here ruling that the ball touched the line. Not necessarily supported by the evidence.
I don't think it landed on this point in the field of play. Now Gow is having more trouble with
I'll take it, mate, I'll take it.
Holding possession, and it all surrounds when he's tackled or getting up to play the football.
Let's go, boys. No dawdling. Let's bring it in.
Just before that previous try, I felt Manly were getting a little flustered. They only led 4-0 despite dominating this game territorially. If they were playing against the Roosters and Souths, they wouldn't get flustered. They just would think it was the normal part of the grind. But sometimes when you're playing in a game where you're expected to win, the fact that you're not got the scoreboard ticking over can lead to some frustration. They've just got to ignore that and play their game.
Matai.
Well, this is a very big 5.5 minutes coming up for Parramatta. And you just feel as though they might be ready to crack again, and the score line getting away from them at the break.
Line again. Matai enjoys the fact that he's normally playing outside of the Jamie line. Oh, that's a falcon, I fancy. It looked like it was straight off the face. It's Horro.
Great shot from Nathan Peets, one-on-one here. I think you'll find it's the little hooker who's hit Justin Horro, who I don't think had control of the football anyway.
It was heading for him in a very tight situation, you might say.
Okay, Petty, get Kenny that foot up for me. Okay, Petter.
I was listening to an interview with David Perry, the chief executive here, about plans for Brookvale. They're seeking the support of other sports in the area to try and get Brookvale refurbished to the tune of about $30 million. They've got 10 in the bank from the government, Commonwealth government. They need another 20, but I think they're, from the interview, looking for support from other sports to use the arena. Toto playing the ball under the tackle of Jamie Lyon. And here is Paulo away to Hayne, in, on to Tonga. Tonga to the halfway. Radradra down the left side. The big Fijian going down to the 10-metre line where he is pulled down by William. Parramatta with a chance before the break. Norman for Hayne. Hayne away to Paulo. Paulo on then to Terapo, and it's a penalty against Manly inside the 10. He was playing an advantage.
And they're the opportunities that Parramatta have been able to create but not yet capitalise on. Here's a great opportunity to put a dent in this lead just before the break. They've got the players who can outpace Manly on the outside. I've got no doubt about that.
Terapo. That's how close they are. Running over towards the southern end of the ground. And here is Paulo, a little hop on his work before giving it to Gower. Nathan Peets looking around. Who wants it? Where are we going? It's with Kelly. And then Edwards. And then Hayne couldn't handle it. Might have caught one across the face, but that was on his way down. And Manly have diffused the Parramatta attack. Here goes away from his sideline.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Ballin now. Crowd baying for the 10-metre penalty for Manly. Matai.
Well, I reckon they've had 4 really good opportunities, Parramatta, and they've bombed them all. Just a lack of finesse.
Cherry Evans, Stewart away to Satini. Right on the halfway line, and 2.5 minutes of the half remaining. Cherry Evans kicks out of dummy half, and this one is taken on the feet by Jared Hayne. Goes back to Radradra, and he's able to dance away from Williams, but he waltzed into the waiting tackle of Glenn Stewart. Now Willie Tonga to the halfway line. Tackler was Cherry Evans again. David Gow, hang on to the ball this time, David, to the 40-metre line. So the third is down, we're playing the fourth. And Paulo, Kelly, Hayne on, Hopewati, and Matai is with him. 25 out from the line. And Manly leading 10-0 coming up the half-time. Terapo wanting another piece of the action. Peets, Paulo through Norman, on to Jared Hayne. Oh, there was a forward running a decoy. Mao, it's gone backwards, and then Radradra puts a kick in, but it's landed over in the second row.
Well, I'll need to make a decision on Jared Hayne at half-time. Obviously, they won't leave him out there if there's a chance that the injury can be worsened. But he's like a thoroughbred that's been shackled. You can just see that he's so restricted. But not having him there mentally would be a huge letdown for his team.
Jason King. Now Buren, who's been out there for a little time now. Cherry Evans out from dummy half, kicks, regathers on the full. There's a front row forward chasing. He kicks again, and it's on ground, and it's come down to Parramatta. Brilliant piece of work by Daly Cherry Evans.
I don't think he needed the second kick. I think if you'd have known Hayne was incapacitated the way he is, you just stepped away to the right and out-paced him. I don't think Jared was going to chase him too far.
There's Mao over halfway, back through Paulo, Norman, Kelly on, now it's Edwards gets it out, onto Hopewati, now to Totai, down the right side, kicks towards centre ground, taken by Williams.
That's brilliant positional play there by David Williams. Came from the far wing to support them at the back, diffuse any opportunity. The big key here will be whether or not Jared Hayne returns for this second half. They're still in at Parramatta.
So the players heading for the break, as we do as well. It's 10-0 in favour of Manly with 2 tries in the first half. He runs into a powerful 3-man tackle from Parramatta. Buren working out there with Ballon at this point in time. Jamie Lyon, catch and pass away to Horro. So Steve Matai with the cornrows, I think they're called. Cornrows on Steve Matai today. And a good race at Rosehill yesterday too. Might have some hope in the slipper, cornrow. Ball played then by Lawrence. Then back to the right foot of Cherry Evans, and down it goes to Jared Hayne. Jared comes back and he'll be put away and put down heavily by Glenn Stewart in combination there with Satine. Willie Tonga. Norman in a dummy half, and now to Radradra. David Gow against his teammates from last year in this game today. Paulo says, "Come with me," and Norman was on his right and Hayne on his left. Norman it is who plays the ball, peeks to Norman. Norman kicks up into the breeze, hangs for a little while. Down it comes with Hiku, who got the second Manly try. And that will be a knock on.
You surrender in there, mate. You play the ball when you can.
He's basically said that Peter Higgins has
he
played
plays the ball when he can, mate, not too quick.
And the scrum will pack down with Parramatta's feed. Here's a chance for them, and if they can get a smell of these people that are in front of them by 10, then who knows what might happen here today. This is a golden opportunity.
Well, they need to be next to score. There's no doubt about that. And as you point out, what a wonderful chance here. Centre field scrum. You can attack either side.
Well, here they go, Parramatta. Up to Hayne. To the right of the ground. And now from Peach. And he goes back to Terapo. But that sort of attack is not worrying Manly. Their on-line defence, their compressed forwards, impregnable. Here is Norman. He dummies and he beats one, but then he's taken by the last line. Hiku it was that made the tackle. Peach then goes away and Paulo is tackled on suspicion, and it's a penalty to Parramatta.
Tackled him without the ball.
This will probably start my friend off here. No, he's okay. He's not going to respond.
Yeah, I am. That's a ridiculous call.
There we go. There it is. Now for Paulo. 5 metres out from Manly's line. Peach goes away to Kelly and then to Edwards. Here's a try coming up for Totai. So the golden opportunity has been taken by Parramatta. Their winger has scored. Totai has scored. It is now 10-4 and kick to come.
And well worked after they got a call close to the posts. They had plenty of players in motion out there, plenty of decoys, and Totai enough speed to get on the outside of his man. There's Jamie Lyon and Steve Matai trying to slide, just ran out of troops, didn't have the numbers, and Parramatta took advantage of that.
Well, they've threatened to do it a number of times. They've found space down the Manly edges right throughout the first half. Couldn't quite convert it. But on that occasion have now found the in-goal, and maybe that'll give them a little bit of confidence to go on with this. Manly are looking shaky. With the ball, they'll probably feel as though they should have come up with 2 or 3 more tries themselves, but they haven't. The scoreline is close, and Parramatta are showing just as much in attack, or just as many opportunities to score as what Manly can muster. So the Sea Eagles need to get their heads on here. Their team is disrupted with positional changes and injury. It's not going to be easy at all between here and full time unless they knuckle down. And if they give this Parramatta side opportunities, they've got the players who can run in some points.
So the advertising near the touchline has been cleared. So the tarmac is clear for Joseph Paulo from the touchline and 25 out. And it's well offline. I think that's an understatement. It was way offline. So it's 10-4 in Sunday football. Back in just a moment. Steve Matai is about to get us going again. Manly letting their first try in of the day. This man, Terapo, doesn't he run with vigour? Norman got the ball from him, and now it's gone to Hayne. But Terapo.
Under Jason King, I think mainly Ray, and they both just came out of it and kept on going.
Hayne now getting a ball from Gower. Here's the clash. Terapo's body buckled. Norman with the ball now, away from one. And out to the 40-metre line. Cherry Evans and Glenn Stewart making the tackle. Peach gets it on to Paulo. Paulo goes short. Could have gone longer. And got it away to Mao. He plays the ball just into Manly's territory. Peach inside ball for Paulo. A one-hander to Tonga. Tonga beats Williams, gets it away to Rudd. He's inside the 20. He gets inside the 10. He's beaten 1, 2, 3. And he's going in to score the big Fijian. Magnificent solo performance comes after some lovely lead-up work for Semi Radradra.
Wow, that's a bit special. How strong is he? Nice work there from Joseph Paulo and from Tonga to get through Williams, and that got Radradra in behind the front defensive line, and the Isuzu D-Max replay will show the strength. The big right-hand fend into 3 different chests, and he takes it round with the kick to come, striding out.
That's his 10th try in, I think, his last 8 games. His 10th try in his last 8.
Well, that's exactly what we saw in the first half. Opportunities now, and they've produced 2 tries in the space of a minute. And this big fella, well, he just doesn't take no for an answer. There were 3 or 4 players there probably thought they had a good shot at him, and he has just brushed them away like swatting flies.
Now, I know I shouldn't bring up goal kicking, Ray. I'm not quite sure how confident Joseph Paulo will be.
After his other one.
He won't miss this.
After his first one.
He won't miss this, trust me.
Okay.
Take a deep breath, young man. Breathe out.
2 points the difference.
Breathe out.
Joseph Paulo now is carrying Sterling and Gould into this. Hits it, and they put the mock on him. They got him.
Stay there.
No, you stayed out. Okay, fine. That's okay. But the big fella, the big Buddha, he sunk in. He got rid of him. Poor old Joseph Paulo. Here's Radradra. I was trying to tell you earlier that he wanted the N that doesn't appear, but apparently there's supposed to be an N in front of the D in Fijian. So if you go back to Noah Nandruku, that's an example. So everybody put an N in front of the D of Randrandra. And then he has made it known to officialdom that he doesn't want the N in front of the D. Doesn't want it. That's Radradra. Now Joseph Paulo. Joseph Paulo. Sterling. He stopped Adam Reynolds the other night, and then he got Gareth Widdop again during the week. So he's decided to take a back seat on that one. So it was Gould really that sunk him. Gower. Just into Manly's area. Oh, what an interesting situation. You know, it wasn't hard to see that there was going to be a chance if they could just complete. This is Hiku.
Well, Manly are playing with frustration and a sense of entitlement. You get the feeling that Manly just think it's going to happen for them, that eventually Parramatta will wilt, and that someone, I don't know who yet, Jamie Lyon or Daly Cherry Evans or Steve Maddai, will just produce a try when they need it. But they're now got themselves in a battle because the other side is a lot more dangerous with the ball than Manly have shown in recent times.
Jeff Tuvey has reacted to that battle by getting Anthony Watmo out there. The penalty now, and penalties have been a problem for Parramatta in the first couple of games and all of last year. So the number 11 out there from Manly has been thrown back into the action by the coach. His line finds touch 35 metres out.
Manly's chance now. They might have got a wake-up call. And here's another penalty going to Manly.
Jared.
Paulo is the offender.
I'll take Jared. I don't need you.
Penalty's 8-3.
You've asked a question what I need you to do. I don't need you to hang on the legs up on the move call. 2 in a row, mate. No, you don't need to know about it. Thank you, mate.
I'm just going to wait Jared to blow.
Jared thought he did.
It was a brush, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Lawrence. The Manly have been freewheeling down here on the back of penalties. And Horro is held by Edwards and Kelly. 10-8 in favour of Manly. Ballon Watmo off his right foot, and the ball didn't touch the ground. It's gone back though, the pass to Hiku, and he is able to still get it away. Parramatta not killing them with the tackles. Now Watmo, Stewart has got it. Norman is in there low. Mao and Moi Moi make the the tackle up the top. Interesting double. Moi and Mao. Here is King.
Good shot, keeps the game.
Ballon comes to the right. And it's with Cherry Evans, and Norman has him this time. Ballon. Oh, Ballon's knocked on a dummy half. That's a rare mistake for the veteran Manly hooker.
Well, that was tackle 5, and I wonder where Ballon was going there. All he had down this right-hand touchline was Tony Satini and David Williams. All his playmakers were off to his left. And on last play, I have no idea what he might have been thinking unless he mistook the tackle count. But that set of 6 there, right there, shows you that Manly is on tilt and not prepared to work hard enough for their victory at the moment. They feel entitled rather than want to work for it.
Tonga. Australia's cricket superstars continue their great run tonight. This is live on Gem. Australia take on Pakistan in their opening game of the ICC World 2020 tournament. That's on Gem tonight.
Look out. Warner, just have a quick opportunity to have a look at this, mate, please. On tackle 3.
So Jared Maxwell, as you heard, I guess you heard, he's saying, I'd like you guys to have a look at this. And Glenn Stewart, sort of struck him, I thought, more around about the chest with the shoulder. The arm went up.
I don't think there was much in it.
I don't think there was much in it either.
No, nothing.
I'm talking about the original point of contact. 10-8 the score. There's a segment coming up in 60 minutes tonight. You might be interested to watch.
What have I got, mate?
The man who recruited Tom Cruise for Scientology, or to Scientology, reveals their darkest secrets. And he speaks exclusively to 60 Minutes at 7:40 following the block.
Being called out here. I didn't even see any contact to the head.
Well, if it did,
contrary to the delay, he did tell me a couple of minutes ago. Short on report, high tackle.
Oh, no chance in the world.
That's not my concern, mate. Mate, it's not my, I'm not a doctor, Jamie. Come on, let's go on with it.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Everyone is spooked, don't they?
And Jamie Lyon questioned the referee as to, after staying down, whether Moi had to go off. Jared Maxwell said, well, that's not for me, that's for the medical people. Well, the medical people have said, well, we will take him off, and that's a free interchange.
Tim Manor. We read a story today where a few clubs have already been suspicious in their use of the concussion laws in the game today. I don't know where those investigations are heading, but I think one of them was Parramatta. This is Paulo. 30 metres out from the Manly line at 10 points to 8 the score. Back to Norman, second man play. Hayne across, Tonga off his left foot, gets it back to Hayne, and Hayne has taken 10 metres out from the Manly line. Radradra through from Mao, finding Manor. Now Norman, Kelly on, Peach out to Hopewadi. And Hopewadi's 5 metres out from the corner. Manly, they mount arms and put him into touch. A break on Sunday football. Manly by 2.
Okay, he's out, Mark. Okay, Parra, let's gather our 6.
Okay, what's the Parramatta lock?
Okay, down we go. No, come up.
We welcome you back to Sunday football.
Wait for it.
We are about 15 minutes into the second half, and a 10-0 half-time lead for Manly has been whittled down to 10-8 with 2 Parramatta tries at the 44th and 47th minutes. Cherry Evans is held by Paulo with assistance from Manu Mao, and there was a suspect play the ball there. It's with Lawrence, however. Now Ballon, Lyon, out in front of him, dipping down to pick it up. Taken there by Hopewadi, who tries to show the Manly captain the sideline. Play by Jamie. Here comes Hiku, away from the sideline, out towards halfway. And a penalty. Manly.
Here's your mark.
Parramatta, they got to within 2, and I haven't kept a count of how many penalties they've given since. But it's quite a few.
Yeah, it's 9-4 the penalty count, and if Parramatta can cut that out of their game, they'll win this. I came here today nearly thinking an upset that Parramatta might be able to get this Manly side with the changes. Manly going to have to knuckle down here if they want to win.
Got a Starling. Line now. Back on the inside for Lawrence. He really, in many ways, is their leader of the front rowers these days. Lyon, Cherry Evans, and then Hiku in from the back after a good decoy by Satini was run. Talking of Satini, he's landed a dummy half in 21. Stewart, back it goes, second man play. Same from Cherry Evans, same from Ballon. Inside ball from Lyon. It's with Horro. Right in the middle of the ground on the 10. Ballon again, taking Watmo with him, and they barrel him down. A couple metres away. Cherry Evans, long out to Lyon, lofted to Maddai, steps inside, puts a kick in, and Jamie and Jared Hayne bumps it over the sideline. In touch in goal, I think is the correct way to say it.
A big step inside there from Steve Maddai. After Parramatta realised they were in a little bit of trouble and got up very quickly, did Will Hopewadi. Maddai off the left foot, back inside. Decided to kick, and Jared Hayne hadn't arrived. Chase Blair scores.
Parramatta's built this pressure for themselves by what I was just talking about, the flood of penalties. That's a good drop kick if the breeze is still coming from the north. Here's Watmo with a struggling run, leaving a Parramatta player clutching at his head. I think it's Nathan Peets. Now they go ahead with Starling. Right up the central corridor, inside the 20. Glenn Stewart back to Cherry Evans, on to Satini, then to David Williams. Williams can see the try line, but he can't reach it. Play by Hiku, a dummy. Stewart, now Ballon. Ballon goes out with a long ball to line. He goes deep looking for Maddai. Maddai got rid of a would-be tackle. Comes back on the inside. Gets it away to Jamie Lyon. The captain's over. Does he get the ball down? I think he did. He'll point to the spot. Maxwell points to the spot. And Jamie Lyon has scored. Good work by Maddai again. They know each other's plays, don't they? Lyon and Maddai.
Looking for their senior players to take over, take control, and that's what they've just done. Radradra raced up very quickly. And if you get up that quickly, you've got to make the tackle and make sure the pass doesn't get thrown. Well, Steve Maddai broke away on the Isuzu D-Max replay. You see that he finds Jamie Lyon supporting back on the inside. And Lyon, despite the attention, both the 15, Tanganoa and Jared Hayne, swivels over to get the football down. Now look to convert his own try.
Yeah, a touch of class there from the two senior men, Lyon and Maddai. There is no doubt that Jamie Lyon's move to the left-hand side of the field from favourite right-hand side has really disjointed Manly this afternoon. In this day and age, players get very comfortable playing in their own little laneway. Manly have the best right-hand attack of any team in the NRL. The combination of Daly, Stewart, Lyon, and Brett Stewart, when he's playing, has torn apart a lot of defences. But Jamie Lyon, even though he has played 5'8" and played left side of the field, has looked very clunky over there today. There has been no fluency. The right side has virtually become ineffective for his absence. But it took Maddai and Lyon there, two class players, to conjure up the try.
Well, he's landed the two. Close, but it still counts. 16-8, and Brad Fittler's got a guess down there.
Sure, Ray got injured playing Kieran Foran. Mate, I'm sure your teammates would like you out there. What's wrong?
Oh, look, we were pretty upbeat at half-time, you know. I think Toots just wanted us to complete our sets, get through them and try and build some pressure. So we look like we've done that, and hopefully we can get away with it in the end.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, calf, mate. I heard it just at the end of the South Sydney game last week. So hopefully be right for next week's game.
All right, good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Kieran Foran giving a little time there. And the calf muscle injury taking him out of the game today. Played by Watmough. Here is Starling.
Another example of Kieran Foran putting his team first. When he's asked what's wrong, he gave the general view and then he came back to himself. His line got support.
Yes, he has, and he's got Chase Blair down the left flank, kicks in field. And it's all gone awry.
Played at Parramatta.
Hayne responsible for knocking it down.
And ruled to have played it, so it will be a Manly feed.
I don't think it was anywhere near the end of the tackle count. Chase Blair there deciding to kick back in field. I think had moved away from the sideline. There was support looming on the inside, but even a quick play the ball might have been better. Lovely little play down the short side line involved again. Stanley's away. If he just comes away from the sideline, they'd have probably got them on the next play the ball. And Jared Hayne had his hands out there, and even though it hit him in the foot,
Joseph,
he was playing at it. He wanted the ball to hit him.
Head in, Joe.
Manly then pleasing their crowd. And here's Cherry Evans trying to get away from the last tackle, but he's down a metre from the chalk. Ballon. Oh, down around the boots of Watmough, dribbling along the ground. And played by Watmough, no dummy half. The vacancy was filled by Matai.
It's all very unmanly-like, isn't it? Ball's hitting the ground, no dummy half, plays out of position.
Ballon across and back inside. Lawrence. The line is right there. It's just a matter of getting it over that white line. And here's Glenn Stewart. Satini making way for Ballon to go into dummy half. Cherry Evans puts a kick over towards Blair. Well done out there by Totai, I think. Yes, it is. The first of the Parramatta try score. Now, Parramatta with Tanganoa out there now. This is Radraja.
Okay, Matt Ballon, that's you. Off we go. Marker.
Now Joseph Paul. Oh, this is loose. Williams. Oh, Williams couldn't pick it up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I have dreams like this. There's no one around. All I got to do is pick up the ball and put it across the line. I think it would have come back.
Yeah.
Would have come back anyway. But look at David. He doesn't know that. Just got to pick it up. Just got to pick it up. Happens to me every night in my dreams.
No, he knew that. He knew that David Cherry Evans got it.
Every night I wake up in a cold sweat, rabbits. All I got to do is pick it up and score the try, and I fumble it. I bobble it.
He was playing to the crowd, Rabs.
Here we go.
Who, Gus?
No.
I'm starting to wonder whether Gus is talking about the football still. That's what I'm worried about.
There we are.
Anyway, here is Moi Moi with the ball. Now. And this is Terapo. He's beautifully named, isn't he? Terapo. Because he wreaks terror wherever he goes. I'd hate to be in front of him with him running at me. Moi Moi.
Well, he knows no fear, does he?
No. But I do. That was the point I was trying to make to you. Norman's kick, taken by Hiku. And they barrel him and put him down. Willie Tonga, the 4. Manu Mao, the 12. He's a mean critter, isn't he, Mao?
Yeah, I like him.
You do like him?
I like the 12.
Okay, Nathan, that's
Very inexperienced player, but he's got some attractions.
He's the young lad that spent some time incarcerated, so hasn't had the opportunity to play this sort of level of football for obvious reasons. But he's handling his job here well. Ballon, there's a long run by Ballon to be taken by Tanganoa. Cherry Evans kicks, a little chip kick, and Chase Blair bats it back in. Matai bats it back in. Underarm pass Horro. Lyon gets it on. And Manly with the 14, that's Hassan. He gets it back for Cherry Evans. He kicks, and it's coming over towards Williams, but Radradra is there. Well, that would have been incredible. Now, it'd be still incredible, because here's Tonga in a foot race at the moment, but he's taken by Watmo and Williams. Stays in the field of play against their wishes. And Radradra goes away again, gets rid of one, runs into another. He's a tough man.
What a bizarre passage to play.
Here's Mao. Friday we had the cow. Today we become poetic again. As it goes from Kelly and goes to Hayne. Hayne taken down by Lyon. Well, he's 7 out. And running with it is William Hopewadi. Over towards the centre. Can't unload. Obviously would love to have got the ball down to Paulo or Kelly. Here it is now. The ball goes from Norman out to Hayne. Hayne away to Tonga. Tonga. He's got the ball out to Radradra. He gets the ball over the line. There's a question mark on this.
Okay, Wardy. Tackle 5 in, mate. That's right.
He's got to try, Maxwell. So that puts you 3/4 of the way there.
Oh, nice last tackle play there. They tried to find the kicker. It was Corey Norman. And he decided to run it. Found Jared Hayne on his outside. Radradra has got his second.
11 tries in his last 8.
Well, they're not going away. Manly want them to go away. Manly want them to lay down. But Parramatta are not going away. And it's going on.
The diehards from Parramatta who've done it bleakly for 2 years with the spoon. A big win against the Warriors, then embarrassed against the Roosters, and are right in this game against Manly at Manly, where I think they've only won one of their last 7 matches against Manly.
Well, they've lost their last 20 away games, right?
That's a fair space of time. That goes back to July 2012, I think. Now, what do we got here? We've got Paulo from 25 out, and probably the most angular of all kicks, Gus.
Absolute certainty. Absolute moral this time.
What price?
Eh?
What price him to miss?
I'll bet you a Chinese move. Is that a bet? You just winked at me, yes.
Well, I think he'll miss.
Come on, son. Knock it over.
On what I've seen, I don't think he can get it. But
breathe out. You tried breathing in. Breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe out.
Come on. If I win, the dinner has to be in my territory. Here's the kick. Oh, he's missed it. Yeah. Oh, I was about to say you beauty, but I shouldn't say that. No, poor old Joseph Paulo. It is 16-12 still. Manly over Parramatta. Well, we'll get the chopsticks ready.
It's on the run.
Sunday football. The chopsticks are out. The Goulds are coming to the Golden West to shout. And this is Terrapo. They've got him on the human carriage.
You never know, he might kick the winning goal.
I hope he does. Gower. Peets, Kelly, is Hayne coming in, Matai and Lyon. They see him coming, so they combine to put him down. Play just into Manly's territory. Played over there by Hopewadi before Norman puts this kick in. Williams spins around, gets on his bike. Hiku is back with him. Williams comes away. He'll make the 10.
Manly are trying to get out of this three-quarter pace. They need a few players to step up here. Ryan and Maddai did it previously, but they've got some walkers out there as well.
Brad Fittler on the sideline.
Yeah, you said line of matter. They'll need Chokwatmo too. I've been watching him the last 15, 20 seconds, and after that hit on Tonga, he's been walking around holding his chest, so hopefully he'll be right there. His arms right. He's okay. He's a tough bloke.
Chalk, you're talking about?
I'm talking about Chalk. Let me just add too, Semi Radradra. He's in front of us. He looks like a semi-trailer. He is one specimen, Rabs.
You're only looking at the prime mover. Play by Hassan. Now Lyon. And his kick is going down pretty strongly. It'll go away.
Lots of passes.
Down to the fence at the back. And captain just surveying the situation. We're in a bit of... Well, we're in front, but we could be still in big trouble here.
Yeah, well, in all honesty, if you didn't know that Manly were grand finalists last year and Parramatta were wooden spooners, on what we've seen here now, I kind of expect Parramatta to win. Of course, you're banking on the class of a few Manly players to steer them home, but on sheer energy and try scoring...
That was Tanganoa with too much enthusiasm. Now Starling drives it up to the 30-metre line. Ballon for Stewart. Stewart behind Hassan. It's with Hiku. Norman's taken the ball off him.
He was downhill. The player finished.
Ball's down. Player tackled.
Yeah.
Another error
Tackle,
for
mate.
Manly. And it's been a very unlike performance for them today. Pretty ordinary, actually. Full credit to Parramatta. They're still in there punching away.
Friday night football, Phil, and Roosters Manly. The grand final teams come together at Allianz for the New South Wales viewers at 7:30, Queensland 9 o'clock. Dragons Broncos from Wollongong. A special time for you Queenslanders for that match, 7 p.m.
Hold here.
and 9:30, of course, for people here in New South Wales. So, as Peter rightly said earlier, what a great night of football coming up on Friday.
And this game in front of us continues a great weekend of tight finishes, and into the final 10 minutes now. Just scored the difference. Gower outside his own 40, turns back to the defence. Pick up another couple of metres.
Joseph Paul has Tim Manor with him. Opts to go to Corey Norman. Norman held by Cherry Evans. Nathan Peets. Paulo got it to Gower, and Gower is picked off by Bureau. Norman. Haynes in. Now Tom Woodward carry. Gave it to Radradra. He kicks ahead. He picks up. He scoots it away. Haynes gets it on. Nathan Peets. Nathan Peets. Nathan Peets. What's happened down there? Has he got the ball over the line? Jared Maxwell, it's over to you.
Last tackle. Strick a try here.
He's got himself a try, we believe.
Thank you.
Semi Radradra. Last tackle. Like they did before the try they scored previously, they've run it on the last through Norman, through Hayne and Tonga. Radradra kicks for himself, regathers and delivers a pass back on the inside in the same motion. He's got nowhere to go here. The big winger knows it's the last, dribbles it through. Everybody is onside when he's kicked the football. That's not a problem. Flicks it back inside to Hayne. Well, we've just got to see a different angle there. Jamie Lyon going in low. Nathan Peets.
Did he promote the ball? Or was there momentum pushing it to the chalk?
I think it's momentum if he's got there. I don't think he had time to promote it, did he?
It's just on the ground now.
No, it's momentum.
It's momentum.
No, there's momentum there. I think you'll find they'll be hard pressed to overrule the referee here. This is going to bring us to level, and we come back to Joseph's kicking ability.
Well, now you've got to show that at proper speed.
Yeah, it's got to be a try. It's dead set got to be a try. Bang, he's there.
He is there.
He's there.
And Joseph Paulo
What about Randra?
next to the posts.
We'll take the ends out. Radra. Bulla Vanaka.
Try.
Here it is. It's all green. It's all green. And it's gaiety galore for Parramatta at the moment. 16 all, but we come back to Joseph and the Technicolor raincoat.
Well, I'd say by this stage they decided during the week that Joseph Paulo was the only one that could get it off the tee, because no one's put their hand up to come in and take the winning kick.
Well,
he's had 3 absolute shockers. I'd say they've had a kicking competition during the week, and he's the only one that can get it off the ground.
He's had 3 sighters.
He's the only one that could get it airborne. So they said, you're the kicker today.
I'm not coming into this. I'll tell you what I'll do with it.
He's got to aim on the outside of the right upright, because he has pulled everything harshly left.
Oh, okay.
Aim way right.
Thank you, Daryl. Daryl Halligan there with advice on goal kicking. Gould, I'll let you get square if you want to.
Yeah, double or nothing. Come on, football gods.
Joseph Paulo.
Football gods.
You reckon you'd kick this yourself, wouldn't you, with a pair of thongs on? He kicks it, and he's got it, and kicked it out of the ground for good measure. 18-16. The Eels lead. Good on you, Joseph. You're a good goal kicker.
Well, can you imagine the pressure that he was feeling going up to that after what had previously happened?
Oh, terrible. Look, it's no lonelier place to be than the goal kicker. Of course, we saw that magnificent goal after the bell yesterday from the Panther fullback Matt Moylan yesterday from the sideline. But he had a bit of form going into that kick. Poor old Joey had nothing to draw on there for confidence.
Well, Joseph must have got the job by default.
Well, that's what I mean. They've had a kicking competition during the week, and he's the only one that could get it airborne. But they said, you're the kicker.
Gower. Ooh, gee, that was a heavy hit from James Hassan. He led the charge with Bureau behind him. Now Paulo. So they have to play mistake-free and then go for the long kick.
Well, they need to get Corey Norman into good kicking position here, and that's a really good run for Jared Hayne.
So the 4th tackle down. They've won 1 game in the last 7 encounters. Parramatta in front of a good crowd here at Manly. And this is Hiku, one of Manly's try scorers.
Yeah, they went the different option there. Luke Kelly down the short side. Play on for Cherry Evans.
Away for David Williams, who went looking for the ball. And this is Satini. He will play it in a moment. 5 minutes to go, and Parramatta leading Manly by 2. Stewart plays it. Ballon looks, goes to Louis, behind Watman, to Cherry Evans, and then Bureau, and it's gone forward. So it's gone forward of Jamie Lyon. So a scrum will pack. 30 away from the Parramatta line, and the blue and golds won't be that keen to hurry to the scrum. But Manly have locked it anyway.
Wonder what's going through the Parramatta players' minds. They look out at the scoreboard and they're in front within 4 minutes of full time.
Okay, let's come forward.
How do we get this done? How do we hold them out? Big Fooey. I like him out there. We've got plenty of experience.
Well, it must be nerve-wracking for Brad Arthur, who was the defensive coach at Manly last year. And of course, he's the new coach at Parramatta, where he took up the slack there at the end of 1 year with the departure. I'm trying to think, was it Steve Kearney or... Yes, it was Steve Kearney. But Brad Arthur's got the reins here, and he'll be absolutely beside himself at the moment against Manly. Last win away from home for Parramatta was 601 days ago. Now there's a stat. 601 days ago, and here he is again, Radra. He plays it, Peach gets it on, Kelly puts the kicker, Hayne's gone after it, it's Hayne and Hiku, the ball comes to ground, and it's with Cherry Evans, and the referee will say grasped in goal.
Stays down and carries on, you're giving him a high
That's a great result for Parramatta.
Stay down, Chess.
And it's no good Manly whinging about it because the decision is not going to change.
Let's check the contact on Cherry Evans. Oh, we got the injury.
Well, the Manly players are claiming a high tackle here on Cherry Evans, and the referee has decided to go back and have a look at it for them. I don't know.
Yeah, it was our mate.
Rangi Rangdu.
Radra. And what was going to be a line dropout almost definitely now will be a 10-metre penalty.
Wow.
You know, the unfortunate thing in our game was that there was a teammate that said to Cherry Evans, stay down.
What's that?
You have better opinions for every single little thing we've done today. Not one penalty we've got in the ruck, nothing. Every time we do something to them, you're all over it.
Okay, I beg that hey, Clayton, get away from it. I disagree with you. I called you out here to tell you it's a penalty against number 2 for eye contact here. Hang on, mate, hang on.
Put him on report, Jared.
Hang on, Jamie, hang on, mate.
Radra is on report.
All right, 3 minutes to go.
And Manly taking a free on their own 20. Strong from King it is. No, it's not, it's Hassan. Now Louis. And Louis to the middle of the ground. They're still inside their 40 after 2. Watmo on 3. Wrapped up there by Edwards, the 13. Now Ballon, Louis again. Held by Mao. Right in the middle of the ground was Manna. 18-16. And here is Cherry Evans going away to Hiku. Under line under Matai. He's got Blair outside him, but taken down over there by William Hopewati. Back for Jamie Lyon. He goes aerial, and there's players gone down in back play. Ballon's got the ball from a knockdown, and then was the Parramatta player tackled without the ball? Referee says no.
Parramatta first.
And now it's going to be a scrum. It's a scrum. I think he said Parramatta feed.
Got it, all heads in.
Well, here we go.
All heads in. Keep them in, keep them in, keep them in.
Time is ruled off. 1 minute 52 left on the clock.
No, mate,
Is that the ball? I mean, can you get the high tackle up there?
Yeah, well,
Parramatta lead by 2.
It's a Manly feed.
Yeah, Manly feed. Minute 52 on the clock. They need a try to win.
Fed by Lyon, passed by the lock. Now to Cherry Evans. And he's able to stand and unload to Buehrer. Buehrer runs to the 20-metre line. And is held there by Tanganoa together with Kelly. Parramatta by 2.
Lost it, no.
Play on. Louis is with it now. Manly have got, what, a minute and a half. And it's played by Louis. Now to Glenn Stewart. Now it's gone on to the 14, Hassan. And he's pulled down on the 3rd play. Now for Ballon. Ballon across to Cherry Evans. And Buehrer tries to sprint through. That's 4 down. We're playing 5. Louis dancing towards the big men. They put him away. Here it comes. Here it comes. The last. And Cherry Evans kicks over towards the wing of Toto. It's taken by Matai. Matai scores for Manly. Stephen Matai scores his 2nd try of the day. Maxwell, the referee, says, I've got to try. Just have a look at it to put the bells and whistles on it. What a cliffhanger.
We've seen some wonderful kicking through the course of this weekend that have led to tries. And what will be the final play of the game, Daly Cherry Evans has put pressure on the outside, deliberately knocked back by Chase Blair into the path of Steve Matai. It all looks okay. It's gone back.
It can be a cruel, cruel game, can't it? Not if you're a Manly fan. You're on very good terms with yourself at the moment. They'll get the green light here. Wonderful camera work. Look at the emotion there in the players. Manly have got out of jail.
Well, Manly are celebrating, and that is the reason why it is all green. Manly have got out of jail here. They probably should have never been in jail. But in many ways, they became lackadaisical. Now they've pulled out all the trumps they could find to lead by 2 points and a kick to come with 20 seconds left on the clock.
And it is a cruel game, isn't it, when you consider that Radradra has just about been the best player in the field. And he gave away the penalty in goal on Daly Cherry Evans. Otherwise, it's a line dropout. And who knows, Parramatta might have dropped it from the line dropout. You never quite know. But Manly got the penalty, were good enough to get down the other end of the field and good enough to snatch a victory, albeit an unlikely one.
So Jamie Lyon with a kick that is purely academic and as academic as you can get. Lands the goal and sends this very good crowd. Most of them they're sending home joyously, and the man of the match is Semi Radradra.